Asexual reproduction in living organism is the making of their offspring from the cell of one parent without the need for the offspring dangers. For how you can see, in this picture have the difference between sexual reproduction and asexual reproductions. Also we can say clonal females. So in asexual reproduction have only one parent is involved, and sexual reproduction two parents. In asexual reproduction there are no sex cell realized and there is no fertilization involved. Asexual reproduction is common in simpler life forms such as yeast, amoebas, and bacteria. Then, second picture. In this picture, asexual reproduction in animals. How you can see, first Hundra, then its growth of bud, then bud develops mass and tentacle. After it's a bat, teaches from parents and become independent. Third picture. In this picture we can see the flower, how it grown. Yeah. This picture also need one parent to become independent and beautiful. So that's all.
Of asexual reproduction. Almost all prokaryotes undergo a type of asexual reproduction called binary fission. Binary fission is very similar to the process of mitosis in eukaryotes. This is a very fast and efficient way for bacteria and similar types of cells to create offspring. For example, this. Another type of sexual reproduction is called budding. Budding is when the new organism or the offspring grows off the side of adult through the part called the bud. Both unicellular organisms like yeast and multicellular organisms like Hydra can undergo budding. And so again, the offspring are clones of the parent unless some sort of mutation happens during the copying of the DNA or cell reproduction. For example, for budding is this. This is an onion bulb, and this is a potato tuber, and this is a potato plant. Okay. Some species are designed to have many viable parts that can live independently, all found in one individual. This type of species can undergo a type of asexual reproduction known as fragmentation. Fragmentation happens when a piece of an individual breaks off and a brand new organism forms around that broken piece. The original organism also regenerates the piece that broke off. And the piece may be broken off naturally, or it could be broken off during the injury or other life-threatening situation. The most well-known species that undergoes fragmentation is the starfish or the sea star. Yeah. Sea stars can have any of their 5 arms broken off and then regenerated into offspring. This is mostly due to their radial symmetry. So, sponges, some flatworms, and certain types of fungi can also undergo fragmentation. The more complex the species, the more likely they are to undergo sexual reproduction as opposed to asexual reproduction. However, there are some complex animals and plants that can reproduce via parthenogenesis when necessary. This is not the preferred method of reproduction for most of the species, but it may become the only way to reproduce, or some of them for various reasons. Parthenogenesis is when the offspring comes from an unfertilized egg. Some animals that can undergo parthenogenesis include insects like bees and grasshoppers, lizards such as the Komodo dragon, and very rarely in birds. And next, many plants and fungi use spores as means of sexual reproduction. These types of organisms undergo a life cycle called alternation of generation, where they have different parts of their lives in which they are mostly diploid or mostly haploid cells. Examples of organisms that produce spores include mushrooms and ferns.